about submissive men. So I do these YouTube lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. At the very least, share it to your friends or whoever will be helpful with. And hit the like. So I appreciate it. It's gonna help with the algorithm and stuff like that. That being said, I'll be doing a recap. Let me scoot this back. I'll be doing a recap on one of the previous episodes that I've done, and then I'll have 4 slides I'll be talking about today, and it is about submissive men. 1 minute lag. What do you mean by that? Is there a little lag? Wait, hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go on with the episode or the recap that I'm going to be talking about, which is women test men for congruence, right? They test men to see if they're congruent to what they say they'll do. Appreciate the likes. Thank you, thank you. So the slide will be on. She needs to know where she stands with you. So just remember that it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter how much you like her. At the end of the day, she needs to know how much she feels about you or how much interest she has, right? Because if she doesn't, no amount of you liking her is going to change her mind, okay? She has to like you, all right? It's always her choice. I didn't make women this way. That's just the way it goes, all right? Now, a woman will always test you. Ladies, with the few ladies in here, you know what I'm talking about. You always test men. You always want to see where they stand, right? Because you're uncertain. You want to make sure that is he the same guy that I'm with, or what is he still the same as what he was yesterday, or a week ago, or a year ago, etc. A woman will always test you. This could be weeks, months, or even years. She will bring up old stuff to see if it could throw you off center. She would test you by doing certain things, right? She might even say, "Hey, there's this guy at my work that's been talking to me, or he's always trying to talk to me, trying to get to know me, right? Maybe it's not a real test, right? But subconsciously, if you fail that and you get upset and you're like, why are you talking to him? Blah blah blah, blah, right? It's not you that I don't trust. I don't trust him. It's like, okay, so you don't trust her, and yeah, you just failed that test. Okay, so learn how to pass those tests. And when her interest level is high, the test is easy. It's very easy to pass. And when she her interest level is a little bit lower, well, guess what? Her test is gonna be more difficult. What she says to you is she's gonna deflect it a lot more. Ladies, you know it. You do it all the time. Okay, so whether this is intentional or her subconscious, she's testing you to see where you are currently at. Okay, and she judges you by your actions, okay? By what you say, how you react to certain things. So always be responsive. Learn how to respond, right? Emotionally regulate your emotions, right? It's about knowing how to show up. That's where strength comes from, and that's what's sexy. Because she's like, okay, I could keep coming back to this, and he's not going to be off centered. I like that. I want to stay with him a little bit more. That's what you do. Now, she judges you by your actions. Are you bothered? Right? She's judging you on your approach, how you show up. Are you going to be diminished by her words or what she says, right? And how will you handle it, right? And that all depends on your value and how much you value yourself. And it all starts from thoughts. And also, depending on how you feel that day too, look, not everything is always going to be in your favor. Let's just say you're in a very good mood, right? And she says something, it doesn't bother you because you're emotionally regulated. But let's just say she says something to you and you're not in such a great mood. Well, guess what? You still should be able to go back and understand, like, hey, look, I'm not having a good time. Let me take a step back. That's possible and that's okay, right? But try not to be bothered by a woman's actions or what she says, okay? Now, when she feels a sense of safety and certainty from a man or with a man, She would feel safe to open up, right? That's being a little bit more submissive. And this is where it could get a little bit rocky because men, okay, men, when women are emotional creatures, which means that safety and certainty may breed complacency. So if she wants those safety and she wants that certainty, you got to give it to her. But also, if you stay complacent, it's going to be boring, and no woman wants to be in a boring relationship. She would cause a lot of chaos. Well, not a lot, but she will make something small into a bigger problem, and your job as a guy to just shrink it down a little bit, right? And yeah, never tell her to relax, or you're you're throwing this out of proportion, right? Don't tell her to relax, okay? And if she says it's fine, it's never fine, okay? Never fine. Babe, uh, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, shit. Right? That should be your oh shit, okay? What do I need to do next? How am I gonna show up? Baby, talk to me. No, I don't want to talk. Okay. Are you hungry? Right? And if she's consistently throwing things at you, what you could say be like, you know what? I'm gonna let you, just do your thing for a bit, and I'll be back. Okay? She'll calm down. She'll come back. Just give her some time. Just like the weather, sun will always shine. Okay. So, anyways, safety and certainty might be complacency, but be cautious not to get too comfortable. Okay, so don't get too comfortable because you are in a relationship or you are courting her and you are dating her. You have to understand that yes, it's going to be a little bit more responsibilities on your end. Okay, things don't just come for free. I said this before. Guys feel like just because they got into the relationship, she is obligated to do certain things for that guy. Like, no, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean she's gonna, spread her legs, right? It means that you still have to court her, you still have to date her, you still have to understand her. And Coach Corey Wayne said, when a woman feel heard and understood, the legs open. If she doesn't, the legs close, right? So no peace signs for you up in the air, okay? Now, let's continue on with the topic today is what is a submissive man, right? The submissive man. What is a submissive man? Well, let's start with the definition. Hi, Connie. Let's start with the definition, right? And I just copy and pasted this. I forgot where exactly, but I did. So it's inclined or ready to submit or yield to the authority of another. Unresistingly or humbly obedient. Okay, so that's being submissive. Okay, but I'm gonna describe what a submissive man is. Okay, a submissive man chases, he pursues, he acts needy, and he acts desperate. That's more of a submissive kind of guy, right? Where he doesn't, he's willing to drop everything just to make her feel good, right? So, ladies, have you ever been in a relationship where this is guy and he's doing a lot of things, or if you're watching, or if you're guy watching, where you're doing certain things so that that person doesn't get mad. It's like, you know what, I'll just do it. I'll just, I just do it. I just go wash the dishes. I just do this just so that she doesn't get mad, right? And then eventually it adds up. And she could smell weakness from a mile away, right? Like shark could smell blood, okay? So, but that's a submissive guy, okay? And they act like they don't have any value. You've been there many times, right? So, Bree, you've been with a guy where he just does things just so that you don't get mad, right? And then you're like, okay, do you even have any backbone? Right? I get, and so that's why a lot of guys, they fall into this thing where they feel like they need to do a lot of things just so that, so I don't get her mad. It's like, no, you don't have any backbone. You're just gonna get walked all over. And a little bit of submissiveness is okay, but you're being a little, like it's too feminine, and I'm supposed to be the feminine girl here, right? Not you. And so yeah, that's what happens, right? And Coach also mentioned this before too. He calls it the illusion of action, where they feel like they need to do something, right? So when a woman threatens to end a relationship, or she doesn't talk to him for X amount of days, he feels like, oh, I gotta do something. I gotta do something to get her back. No, you don't. Why? She walked away unilaterally. She chose that path. You don't have to do anything. That's not the if if how you feel like hold on, let me rephrase that. If you feel like you have to chase and pursue her in order to get her back, chances are 9 out of 10 times you're doing it wrong, right? And that's why majority of the time, so many guys, they do things out of how they feel, and they usually lose the lady, okay? The lady in the life. Michael Jackson. Chevrolet. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I've been there too, Mitchell. I've learned the hard way to stand up for myself, right? Um, well, I'm assuming, Connie, so I'm assuming in your case where that guy is overly bearing, overly controlling, where he feels like he needs to control you, right? And he allows some wiggle room, but he's like, no, I need to overpower you. But love is about giving. Love is allowing, right? Love is an act. So it's like, look, if I'm with this person, I'm not going to control her. But at the same time, if I express my needs and I express what I need in that relationship, and I said it more than once, and it continues to happen, I'm going to let her know. I'm be like, look, I've been asking for this. This is what I've been asking, and I'm not getting it. If I'm not getting it, hey, I know where the door is. I don't need you to guide me. I'll walk away. It's okay. I'll walk away, knowing that, look, this is always going to be another better person. And if you don't want to be a part of my life, that's okay. But it's not passive. It's not passive aggressive. It's not and I hear this so many times. You would never find someone better than me, right? And they say it, they're screaming, you'll never find someone better than me. It's like, okay, behind anger is fear. So you're fearful that you won't ever get another person like that too. Yeah. Behind anger is fear. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's been a 2. No way. It's like the same situation when they let their mother meddle in their relationship. It's like, yeah. I like how you brought that up, Bree, because when you allow other people to control your own relationship, it lacks what you're telling, or what's happening is the guy in this case feels like he doesn't know how to approach the relationship. Well, just like anything, you got to learn, right? You got to educate yourself. You have to understand, okay? And not knowing is just as important as knowing. Okay, let's see. But there's a difference between dominance and manipulation. Yeah. So manipulation is like control, right? Because it's usually a sense of fear. So if I need to control and manipulate that person, it means that deep down, I don't feel like I value myself. So I need to come in terms of, I need to control this person, or I might need to do certain things so that this person stays with me. But eventually it will reveal, right? As my character's destiny. So, hey, look, I can only fake it for so long, and eventually it's going to be shown to the light. And guess what? The truth reveals. I'm insecure. She's going to walk away, right? So, hey, you know what? If you're not great at where you're at, it's fine. Start somewhere. Be a little bit humble. Just admit it. Hey, you don't know. And if you think you know some stuff, great. Keep it to yourself. But keep an open mind. And then start learning from the scratch. Because there might be some things that, hey, maybe I need to be reminded of. Maybe, hey, as I'm being reminded, hey, I didn't know about this. Just start from scratch. It's okay, right? That's why you want to read the book, How to Be a 3% Man. And Coach discussed it, and he talked about you must read it 10 to 15 times. Because every time you read it, you only contain about, 8% of the book. So if you read it multiple times, 10 to 15 times, chances are you're going to understand it so well that you can even do a lecture on it, right? Anyways, let's move on with the submissive man slide, okay? So they act submissive, right, by chasing, pursuing, acting needy and desperate, and they act like they don't value themselves. And most women want to be with a masculine guy with value, okay? And that's funny because it's true. If you act like a bitch, she's going to treat you like a bitch. So don't act like a bitch, right? It's not that submissiveness is weak. It's that it's perceived as weak if it continues through time consistently, right? If I'm consistently like, yes, ma'am, what do you want to do? The yes man, right? The doormat. What do you want to do? It's like, first of all, he doesn't have anything going for himself. He always have time for me. And anytime I want to eat something, he always asks me what I want to eat. He can't choose for himself. She just wants to be the princess, okay? She just want to look pretty, walk out, eat, okay? Or maybe not even look pretty, right? Sometimes if you've been in a relationship long enough, hey, some people they don't want to dress up all the time, all right? So they just want to go eat. But still, choose. You can still ask her, hey, what we have two options. Okay, I know you like this, but if you're feeling adventurous, we could always do this. Okay, I'm feeling the adventurous side. I'm leaning towards that. How do you feel? Right? Then you get an idea, right? And then play along with it. You know, have fun. Keep it playful. Anyways, he displays traits. So submissive guy displays traits that conveys that he is not worthy, right? He's not the leader of his own life. Just like what Bree was talking about. You know, you get other people involved in your own relationship that you don't even know. And you know, I get it at some point because usually when you're faced with a problem, you're trying to go to another person that feels like they understand it a little bit better than you, or maybe with a clearer mind from like the third person point of view. But you know, you also have to understand like how good is their relationship, what is their relationship with their partner, or you know, wife or husband, right? So, and do they understand it, and do they truly understand it? Because we get so messed up with this whole Hollywood thing that we think that, hey, you know what, if we just keep chasing this chick, she's going to fall in love with me eventually. No, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't. um but then there are signs that woman, you know, does that shows interest, right? One of it is proximity, right? um just being at the gym, you know, I've noticed that there's a particular lady that's always within eye distance no matter where I travel to. I'm like, I'm doing different things too, right? So I'm traveling, I'm working out here, I walk up, I'm away, I'm in a different place. If they like you, they will put themselves in within proximity, assuming that you're going to pursue that, right? Yeah, proximity is one of them. Okay. um but also, what that's only one thing, and it could be a coincidence. So I don't want you guys to just pick like, oh, she's putting herself in proximity, it means that she likes me. Like, no, that's not completely true. Maybe she's just doing that out of coincidence. But at the same time, if she's doing multiple things, maybe she's playing with her hair. Maybe if you make eye contact, she's smiling at you too. Like, those add up, and once you add those up, those are, you know, those are values that you can actually interpret as, you know, she does have a little bit of interest. Okay. Now, going back to the submissive guy, right? He's not the leader of his own life. And I said this earlier, always put ready to put down what he's doing just to talk to her, right? He's too available. A submissive man focuses on how she feels rather than what she's doing. So what I'm talking about is he's too focused on the relationship. He's too focused on like, oh, you don't love me? Why don't you love me? It's like, look, that's her job. Let her deal with it. You just got to focus on your mission, your purpose, do your thing. And when a guy is too relationship focused, it shows that he doesn't have anything. Like, she doesn't want to win. She just needs to know that you're a winner. And by focusing on the relationship, you're not a winner. You're not a winner. You just like, oh, I need to hold on to you so I don't lose you. The girl needs to choose you, okay? You're choosing her in that case. And she doesn't like that very much, okay? Most women, okay? So I don't want to hear like, oh, not all women is the same. No, I get it. Not everyone's the same. But what I do know is what makes a relationship passionate is things that are different. Different in energy, masculine, feminine, right? Feminine energy is about being submissive, okay? Masculine energy is about having a purpose, a drive, right? Breaking through barriers and all that. Staying calm, right? emotionally regulated, all that good stuff. All right, so this is where I'm at. Submissive men focus on. Okay, yeah. So women are like cats. Let them come and go as they please, and they will want you more. Um, I hope I don't get flagged for that. You're saying women are like animals? No, 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 no. I'm saying that women are like cats when they sit on your lap, and you want to pet them, they will come to you. And when they don't, or when they had enough, they'll walk away. They'll run away. And that's what they do, right? And this is an example that I've heard, and this was an interesting example because it wasn't something that just popped in my head. So I'm glad that I heard this, but it was men sometimes want his lady or that girl that he is dating to treat the same way in public as they are in private. And what I mean is, sometimes in private you just want to, hold each other. You want to kiss passionately, or, or at least whatever is in private to scale down. You know what I mean? Like showing affection, holding hands, kissing. It could be any of those. And it's like he might get mad. It's like, oh, you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that because we're in public. It's like, well, is she doing it? Is she kissing you in private? Are you guys having sex? Are you guys doing things? Right? So those are all important things, because if she is doing that with you, then it's not that she's holding it back. It's just that she just doesn't want to do it in public, and which is fine. And guess what? If you're not too worried about it, chances are it's going to make her feel like, you know what? Sometimes I just want to be a little bit more affectionate. I feel like I'm not being affectionate enough, right? So let her come and go as she pleases. All right, let's see. Mitchell, I'm not offended because I find it to be true about myself. That catty side in me, right? Exactly. But I don't know, right? It is 2022. You saying I'm a creature? I'm not a human. I'm a cat. Well, I didn't say you are a cat. I said women are like cats. Okay. If you say I'm like Charizard, I'm not gonna be mad. There'll be a compliment. But you know what I mean, right? Men are like dogs, right? Interpret it however you want to interpret it. But women are like cats. They let them come and go as they please. Okay. Freedom of choice. Let them have it. And if they have freedom, and you make them feel a certain way when they're around you, well, guess what? She's always going to be around you. And then from there on, you could scale her level of interest, judging it based off how she is acting towards you, right? So if she's fully in love with you, she would want to be around you all the time. And when she calls you, you can pick up. You be like, hey, baby, what's going on? Oh, nothing. I just want to hear your voice. Good sign. And if you're busy, it doesn't mean drop whatever you're doing. You can say, hey, you know what, babe? It's so sweet of you to call me. It's so nice of you to call me. I love to hear your voice, right? But hey, I have a few things that I need to do. But how about this? I'll give you a call once I'm done. And mean what you say, okay? Mean what you say. Don't say that and then not call her. Yeah, and then just I'll call you after I'm done. But it's so nice of you to call me, right? So she feels heard and she feels understood. It's like, wow, okay. It's not that he's rejecting me. It's that he's busy right now. And he told me that after he's done, he will call me back, right? Because if you just reject her, I'm busy right now. Yo, leave me alone. And she's like very giddy, very like happy to try to hear your voice. She's going to see that as a rejection. That's usually how women sees things. Okay, so do not reject her. If she cuts her hair or she did her nails, hey honey, I got these nails done. Yeah, just leave me alone. No, the worst thing you could do. Oh wow, baby, those are so pretty. It looks amazing on you. Looks amazing on you. How was your day? What did you do? Right? Because you guys need time and distance away for her to feel something for you, okay? And most men is always trying to close that gap. Stop it. Let her come and go, okay? And it's always better if it's her choice to come back to you. One, you won't ever be rejected as a guy, but number two, it's her choice. She wants you. Okay. All you gotta do is just, she's leaving the door open. You just gotta walk through it. All right. Let's see. Wanting her to treat. Okay. So I talked about, wanting her to treat you the same what you guys do in private. I'm not talking about sex in public. I'm saying like the affection. Okay. Let her come and go. Let her come and go. Okay. Most women wants to know who she got with is worthy of her. Worthy of her. But big but too, right? And here's an example. Let's just say a guy got with this lady, right? Let's just say she's a 10 out of 10 in figure, whatever, yada, all the good stuff. She's the other guy or whoever is saying it to that guy, right? The guy's going to say, I'm going to say it back to her. I'm going to be like, yo, she's lucky to have me too. Thanks, Eddie. I'm assuming that's Eddie. Thanks, Eddie, man. I appreciate it. But wow, he's so lucky to have you. Well, she's lucky to have me too. Yeah, she is. And it's not coming from like a cocky, overconfident place, but it's like I got a lot of stuff that I could bring to the table. Oh, what is it? Well, I know that I am more emotionally resilient. I understand her a little bit more. I understand women, and men who understands women are loved by women. So yes, you do have to, dive into it. You just can't go in blindfoldly, right? So you got to one, you got to keep it humble, but two, you also know what you're gonna bring to the table, right? So and knowing that is your strength too as well, because it's like, look, I've done it. I've done my work. I've done the studies. I've learned. I've experienced this, and so because of that, I know exactly. Well, not exactly, but people make mistakes too. But for the most part, I know what I could bring to the table. Okay, what most others cannot. And if you want to, explore out there, that's fine too, right? No biggie. So in other words, a woman needs to know that it's not that you're gonna replace her any minute, but it's like, hey, yo, if you don't want to be with me, that's okay. Another person is going to value me just as much, if not more. Okay. So let's see. Number two. This is not to be confused with being a tyrant. Okay, and I think this is what we were talking about earlier too, chat, where we were talking about, do you like more submissive guys, or do you like more dominant guys? And most of the time, most of you guys said, or most of the ladies said, they want someone in the middle, right, where they're not overly like dominant, where they feel like being controlled. That's aka a tyrant. Nobody wants to be with a tyrant, but usually what being controlling in the beginning, especially when that person is new and it's fresh, it comes across as confidence, and it blends in very well, and you don't know whether it's confidence like from strength, or just being loud and obnoxious and getting things your way because you're controlling. It hides very well. So, quote unquote, an alpha male is cool, calm, and collected, and that term gets thrown around a lot. It gets thrown around a lot, and I've heard so many things about what an alpha male is. An alpha male that, right? I don't know how else to say. Just be a good guy, right? Don't take shit from other people, but also know what you want. Okay, you don't have to blow up when things don't go your way, but don't be a little bitch about it neither. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't be aggressive. Hey, look, know your worth. Walk away. If someone doesn't value you, just walk away. But people feel like they I gotta treat women like this so that they know who's boss. It's like, well, then you're never gonna have a happy, healthy, long-lasting relationship. But if your goal is to have something, just to kick it for a night, or do some things and just call it a day, then yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that too, right? But it all depends on what your goal is. So anyways, let's go back. So an alpha male, or a guy that knows what he wants. This good person, right? He's cool, calm, and collected. He has a purpose. He has a mission. He has a focus. He's not controlling, right? Because that's a tyrant. He's not controlling. If he doesn't get what he wants, he will find it somewhere else. He will walk away. He will walk away from the person if he's not getting what he's asking for. So an example is her trying to change the terms of the relationship. look, that's not what I want. I want to be with you. I like you. I love you. I care about you. But if that's not what you want, then I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to walk away. But a tyrant, on the other hand, would be controlling. What do you mean? Huh? Is there another guy? Right? Insecurity. Did I do something wrong? Not knowing, right? Very kind of submissive, trying to search for answers. It's like you should already know. She already kind of wants you. Now, there's a level of like talking, and you guys have to communicate certain things, but there's certain things that she needs you to already kind of know, right? And that comes from experience, or at least learning and educating from yourself, right? But one of it is like, look, if she's changing the terms of the relationship, and that's not what you want, and you know what you want, don't stick to her terms of services if that's not what you want. Meaning, if she'd be like, I don't really like you the same way anymore, but I want to be your friend. Let's just be friends. Like, no, I'm not just gonna go from being able to lay down and sleep with you to now we're just only having this tea party. Okay, that's not what I want. That's not what I signed up for. So I'm gonna walk away. You let me know when you change your mind. Okay. Men who think they're quote unquote alpha males misinterpret knowing your worth and trying to control the other person, right? So that's what I'm talking about earlier. This alpha male term gets tossed around a lot. One alpha male is, yes, they know, like, it's knowing your worth, knowing that, hey, this is what I'm worth. I bring a lot to the table. Still be humble about it, not be an asshole. But there's also the other end where this alpha male, they're more on the controlling side. They're trying to always control the other person, right? So remember the whole competitive versus collaborative mindset. Knowing your worth is, this is what I'm worth. It's more on the collaborative side. Trying to control somebody is more on the competitive side, right? It's a lower energy, it's a lower vibration. And if you act that way, people can sense that. And once they start picking that up, some people might not want to stick around, especially the people that are, in higher vibrations or higher energy level, right? So beware of that. So they believe this quote unquote alpha male, this controlling person, they believe by forcing her is dominant. And it could convey that, I guess, but to some degree, it's like, it could become overbearing. It could become from a place of fear, right? And once they pick up on that, ladies, if you get a guy or you have a guy and he is very controlling and he's dominant, but you sense that he is doing that because he is fearful of losing me, that's when you're like, I'm going to freaking test this guy. I'm going to walk away. And if I walk away, I'm going to see how he acts. And if he acts like this little boy that doesn't get his way, I'm just gonna take my toys and go home, then you already know what kind of guy he is. But that's why ladies always have to test men consistently, is because one of it is uncertainty, right? Uncertainty is, I wouldn't say it's just a feminine trait, but it's like a more masculine trait, as even though I'm not certain, I'm still going for what I want, which is masculine energy, going for what you want, overcoming challenges, right? So yes, there might be uncertainty, but you know what? I'm going to do it until I get it done. Okay. And that's sexy. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Bree, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So that's why this whole alpha male being tossed left and right, it does get a little bit confusing. And here's the thing too. There are guys that believe that what I preach or what I believe in at my core, they think that I'm a beta male based off, it's like, oh, this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know women, right? Well, you're supposed to treat women like this, right? You're supposed to just treat her like that blank dumpster, right? I'm like, oh, okay, if that's how you want to treat women, what can I do? That's your opinion. I can't change that, right? But then what's going to bite them back is if they want a long-term relationship and they can no longer sustain that, they're going to act out of desperation, because that's when we learn whether it's from inspiration or desperation, right? So if they're desperate, they lost the girl or the lady that they truly, truly fell in love with, and they're like, God damn, I lost her because I was like X, Y, and Z. That's when they would want to learn. Okay. And so what I teach and what I preach is actually from learning how to maintain a relationship, judging her level of interest, understanding her, opening her up. She's supposed to be a most women they want to be the more submissive one, right? So it's about being dominant but not controlling, not being a tyrant, not being that one guy that you have to listen to me because I'm insecure about myself, but I need to hide it from you, so I'm just gonna start yelling at you, right? That's not the guy I'm trying to teach, right? If you have that, that's an issue. And if you have that issue, you should take care of that, because why? You might not have a long lasting relationship. And, or maybe you just have somebody that you settle with, right? I don't want to just settle with somebody. I want to have a person in my life that adds benefits to my life, because why? Yeah, YOLO. You only got one life, right? You only live once. So if you only live once, why not live it better? That's my opinion, okay? Mitchell's opinion. So that's why I said men are like cats, or men can learn a lot from cats. So if you have a cat, you can pick up a lot of things. Okay. So can be true. Okay, let's see. She thinks about you. If it doesn't affect you, okay. So strong versus weakest course of action. I'm pretty sure you guys heard me talk about this before. So I want to give you guys examples. What is the strongest course of action versus what's the weakest course of action? So let's just say example is your girlfriend wants to break up with you, right? I already gave that example. You kind of have an idea of what is the strongest course of action. But the weakest course of action is to beg and plead and ask why. What can I change? What can I do? Right? Give me a second chance, please. Begging and pleading, like that's not gonna make her. That's not gonna make her thing wet. Mm-mm. Now, the strongest course of action, if she'd be like, "Hey, look, I don't want to be with you no more," blah blah blah. Okay. The strongest course of action is to agree and walk away with your head held up high. Just be okay with it. Just be like, "Look, that's not what I want. That's what you want. I'm out." That's one. Okay. Now, here's another example. Right? She yells at you. What is the strongest course of action, and what's the weakest course of action? Right? The weakest course of action is to yell back, trying to logic and reason, trying to explain to her what most women call it mansplaining, right? Trying to explain it to her because she doesn't want to hear it, basically, right? They call it mansplaining because she's saying that men don't understand her. And then when he's like, I do understand you. I am listening to you. She's like, no, you're not. That's kind of what it is. And I get it, but saying that to another guy, like, oh, you mansplaining, it's only you're really trying to trigger him, okay? You're really trying to trigger him. So maybe hold that back. Maybe just don't say that, ladies, if you really care about that guy too. I get it. You could test him, and that's what you guys do best, and that's okay. And that's his job to pass certain tests, right? But hey, it's a giving relationship, right? So she yells at you. The strongest course of action is, look, I'm not going to sit here and just let you yell at me. I'm not your punching bag. Call me. I'm leaving, but call me when you want to talk like an adult. I'm out. I'm not gonna keep listening to this. What you mean? Like, hey, right? That means that he is approaching it, one, very maturely, but two, he's giving you the option to call him back when things are a little bit more calm. He's not yelling at you. He's allowing you to come to him. You see how much strength that is, right? That's the strongest course of action, right? Okay? And that comes from emotionally regulating how you could respond or react to certain situations, right? Okay. So it goes to, what is your attitude, right? What is your attitude? Your attitude is your set of emotions, because everything starts from thought. Thoughts creates emotions. Emotions these set of emotions will create a feeling, right? This feeling that you're gonna be having is going to be done. Is going to be a behavior. Okay. So what is your attitude? What it starts from thought, right? What is your attitude? So you want to have an attitude that if she doesn't want to be with you, you're willing to walk away and lose her forever, right? Justin and I, before we was talking about it, you got to be willing to take the L, right? Take the loss. And it's like, no, but I don't want to. Well, it's not that you want, but it's what is the strongest course of action. If she doesn't want to be with you, nothing you can do right now is going to make her want you back. By walking away, it gives her time, it gives her space to think about you. And when she's thinking about you, she's creating a lot of stories in her mind. And if you're not there, well, guess what? There's going to be the fading effect bias that's going to be in your favor. Okay. Oh, I haven't heard from him in a long time. I wonder if he still thinks about me. We had such great time just during this one time when we had spaghetti, right? Baked spaghetti, whatever, right? And you start playing these things in your head and then you start missing him. It's because he allowed you time to miss him, right? Strongest course of action, right? The whole take it or leave it mentality. It's not that you're going to say it to that girl. You either take it or leave it. No, you will never say that. I hope you never say that. But it's that type of mentality. It's that type of attitude. It's that take it or leave it type of attitude. Hey, look, I know what I'm worth. I know what I could bring to the table. I know most men won't be able to bring this to the table. Do you really want to lose this? And if you do, it's okay. I'm out. I'll walk away. I know where's the door. I have legs. I'm out. Right? And you gotta have that abundance mentality mindset too. If you don't want to be with me, there's going to be another person that will. There's always going to be another person that will. So, but it's not to use to threaten her with it. Don't try to threaten her. If you try to threaten her with that, oh, if you don't want me, I could. There's plenty of other girls like you. Now it's to her. It's like it's weak because you have to announce it. It's kind of like bragging. Oh, I did this. I did that. You know, I could do all this. It's like, no, just if you're a guy with value, you don't have to announce it. Okay, but having that mindset and being able to walk away, your actions will speak louder, and that's why action speaks louder, right? So you will have this attitude because you know at your core you have a lot to bring to the table. And I'm not just talking about financial things, right? It's great to be able to support, right? Being financially capable to provide, right? Because a woman wants to know that can you provide, whether it's mentally, physically, right? Spiritually in her mind too as well. And, you know, like physically, like can you provide a roof over your head? At the very least, do you have something going on for yourself? And that's very important to her, right? But they did a study, I forget exactly where, but they were judging it based off money, financial status, and the confidence and understanding her. And most women chose a guy that understands women a lot more than a woman that just wants money. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of women out there that sees a guy that has a lot of money and just goes for that. If that's what you want and you have it, guys, if that's what you want and you know and you have that and you just want that temporary kind of thing, then so be it, right? But don't expect her to try to change. Okay? Don't expect people to try to change because most of the time people don't change. If she got with you because you got money, what happens when you don't? Right? She might stick with you a little bit longer and then eventually, right? Oh, I used to get these nice things and now I don't. She might not be there, right? But if she was never that type of person and she liked you for who you were and you were emotionally regulated and you emotionally stable, you know what you want, you going after what you want, you have potential, right? Future potential. And it's like that's to her that's way more attractive, at least in studies. Okay? So, but if you like I said, if you are financially stable and you have these things, even better. Even better. Okay? Um so but I'm talking about, you know, being able to display confidence, right? Having a strong mission and purpose, emotionally stable, emotionally resilient, knowing your worth, and knowing how to make her feel good about herself being around you, right? Making her laugh, understanding her. That's very important. So, what does it all mean? It means that be careful what you believe in, okay? And what you convey, you display. Convey Conveying is to pass from one to another, right? Displaying is presenting it through action, right? So eventually what you're conveying to this other person, you're going to display it, and they're going to see that. And whatever you convey, you display. So if you're coming from a place of strength, it will always be perceived as strength. If you're trying to trick that person that this is strength, and then eventually it fades away, they're gonna see it as weakness. Eventually it's going to be revealed. So like I said, don't try to take shortcuts. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Learn. Okay, don't try to take shortcuts, right? Eventually others will believe that, right? And they'll be repulsed by you, so you don't want that. All right, so I have one more slide that I'm going to be talking about. How are you guys doing? How are you? How do you guys feel about what I've been talking about so far? This might be even helpful. Let's just say, look, ladies, if you're watching this, right? The few ladies in here, if you see a guy, right, and you're dating him and you see potential in him and he wants to learn, and you're like, hey, look, maybe this is not the guy for me now, whatever. If you send him this and he starts learning from this, you might be more attracted to him later on down the line. Maybe not right away, because you have your set you set your mind on how that person you perceive, right? But let's just say a few years down the line, this person that you sent this exact link to watch, and they started picking it up, they started understanding it. That's where they're going to, one, participate in their own rescue, but two, they're understanding more about women, and then you might be more attracted to them. Okay, anyways, let's move on. Last slide. It's what most women prefer. Okay, I gotta use the word most because it's 2022 and I don't want to get chewed out for this, right? I might already get chewed out for, saying that ladies are like cats. Okay, now, what most women prefer, and men who vacillates from masculine to feminine makes a woman feel very unstable, right? So if you got with this guy and he was very dominant, right? He knows what he wants. He tells you what to do, and you kind of like that. And then something doesn't go his way, and he acts like a little bitch. And so you're gonna treat him like a little bitch because he's acting like a little bitch. And guess what? Bitches act very feminine, right? All they do is whine and complain, and that's all they do, and never try to find a solution. And it's gonna cause you, like the lady, to be more masculine, and that's not your natural state. So that's gonna make you feel uncomfortable. You just want to be sitting back and relax a little bit, right? Life is already chaotic enough. I just need to sit back. Why do I need to add more shit to my life? And he's adding more shit to my life. So you're going to test his ass. And that's what happens. And when you test him and he keeps failing, he gets mad and he becomes more of a bitch. So you treat him more like a bitch, right? And then now it's just going, you see where this is going? It's just going downhill from there, right? But if he knows how to control his emotions, regulating it, knows how to respond. Oh, she's testing me. Okay, I've seen this before. This is not my first rodeo. Then you start developing this idea. You're like, okay, I know how to act, right? And this is what most women want. They want a masculine guy. That's it. But if you're a guy and you started out masculine, now you're becoming this bitch, and then you go back to masculine, she doesn't know who you are, and it's gonna cause a lot of uncertainty in her mind. And she's like, sometimes he's like this, and sometimes he's like that, but most of the time he's like this. So I don't know. Am I gonna walk on eggshells today? Am I? Because I don't want to. I'm a lady. I want to know that who I'm with has certainty, right? He knows who he is, and I get it. He's allowed to have bad days, but come on, really? All the time? You seem like you're always having a bad. I don't want to be around that. Okay? So you're gonna give that guy that you care about or that you love a break. But eventually, if that's all he is, and he's always being a bitch and complaining, you're not gonna want to be with him. Okay, it makes her feel uncertain about him, causing her to be in her masculine. So they don't know where they should be. Okay, don't vacillate. Know where you're at. Stay there. Okay. If you're a woman and you like submissive men, you need to be in your masculine. Okay, for this relationship to work. Okay, let's just say he's a very feminine guy and you're a very masculine woman. That's that type of energy that you want. Yes. Okay. Look, what makes a relationship passionate are things that are different. If he's a very feminine guy and he likes women, and you're a very masculine woman, it might work. It might work. But let's just say one day you're a lady and you decided, hey, you know what? I want to be feminine. He's feminine. You're not gonna like that very much, okay? You're not gonna like that very much. Okay? So don't vacillate between your energies, okay? Vacillating between masculine and feminine will only cause a disturbance in the relationship. So that's a no-go. Okay? Most women prefer men to be dominant. Dominant as in taking the lead, knowing what he wants, going for what he wants, right? There's not to be confused with being an asshole. Okay? Don't be an asshole. Don't be controlling, right? Maybe a little bit of an asshole you could be, right? But at a scale, you just can't be controlling, right? That's why when I was asking you guys that question, you're like, I don't want a guy that's kind of in between. I don't want him to be too submissive. But what you are, so this is what I also know too. What a woman says and what they really want are two different things, okay? I want a guy that's not controlling or that's not too dominant. I want him to be a little bit submissive. It's like, no, you want a guy that takes the lead, but he knows what he wants and he's willing to understand and compromise with you too without being a doormat. But you still want him to take the lead, right? So that advice, there's a reason why I was asking, because it's going to confuse the hell out of men, right? And I'm not saying don't take advice from women. It's just that what they want and what they say and what they end up with is usually two different things. Okay? And it's not to take away from what you guys actually want, but you respond through feelings, and that's what you guys respond with. So, but yeah, I do agree. Don't be an asshole. Don't be overbearing. Don't be a tyrant, and don't be controlling. But know what you want. Take the lead. Compromise. Right? You could ask. You could still be nice. Hey, what do you like to do? What would you like to do today? I have these things in mind. And if you can't pick it, I already have one in mind. I just want to make sure that you're okay right now. Okay? So most women prefer men to be dominant. Men who display dominance and masculine energies may show some submissive type of energy, and some women sometimes might consider that a little bit of cute, right? Sometimes, right? This is a small percentage of where you're allowed to be in, right? And it's like, oh wow, he's actually human. He actually cares. He actually loves me. He's not cold-hearted like I thought he was. He's not so closed off, right? In other words. But be careful. Do not stay there for too damn long, okay? It's a very short period, and you got to get the hell out, okay? Just to let her know, I'm human. Back away. Okay, back away, right? So a woman needs to know that she feels like she is choosing you. So it's kind of like making a purchase, right? No one wants to be sold anything. That person wants to feel like they bought it themselves. Like, I bought it, I invested it, and because if you invested time and energy into that person, chances are you're going to be a lot more like when you receive it, you're gonna be a lot more happier. You're gonna be more invested. You're like, yes, I earned this. Okay, not he came at me and I just said yes because that doesn't happen, right? So a woman needs to know that she feels like she is choosing you, right? Make me think about this whole Pokemon thing, right? Pikachu, I choose you, right? Ash is very feminine. I don't know. Okay, I'm playing things in my head. Anyways, moving on. So the only thing that matters is how she feels about you. How much you like her does not matter, all right? So do not try, guys, if you're watching this, do not try to project how much you like her, because it doesn't work. It doesn't help, okay? You can say, hey, I've been thinking about you. Makes, it allows her to let her know that, hey, you do care about her. But it's not like I want to be with you all the time. She don't want to hear that. Maybe it might be cute if her attraction level or interest level is very high, but after a while, it's like, yo, do you have anything doing going for yourself? Are you doing anything? And lastly, masculine men that know how to make her feel comfortable. Masculine men, sorry, let me repeat that again. Masculine men that knows how to make her feel comfortable to open up willingly and submit is going that's her natural state. That's what she wants to be, right? Masculine men should learn. They should understand how to open her up. And when he knows how to open her up mentally, spiritually, she's going to want to open up physically, okay? And that's kind of what the guy wants too, right? And it's by her choice. She wants to do that, right? So that's why men who understands women are loved by women, right? And especially if you can understand your lady too as well, even better. You're always going to be in a much better place. But here's also the thing. Eventually, we're always going to fall under this complacency. And when you do, it's okay. Try to catch it. Just catch it so that you don't have to give me a call and be like, yo, Mitchell, I need your help, right? Because we're trying to prevent that from doing all this over here, right? But if you guys do need help, right, we do consultations. We set that up later. But all this is to help you guys. Hopefully this was helpful information. If you're a guy watching this or you're a girl watching this, it doesn't matter. This is all helpful information because it allows you ladies to understand, like, hey, this is what I want, right? I should know how to show up too as well, because it's not always his fault, right? He's allowed to have bad days just as I'm allowed to have bad days, but it's how we approach those obstacles or those quote unquote bad days. That being said, that is today's show. Hope you guys do like it. I have about 2-3 more minutes left. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything that I can answer for you guys? And how do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about this? Whew. Who's still here? Or maybe I can't see the chat. I don't know what's going on. Press 1 if you're here so that I could see it, because otherwise I think the chat might have froze. Oh, okay, you guys are still there. Okay, because last time it did freeze and I had no idea what was going on. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So what do you got? What have you guys learned? Or ladies, what have you ladies learned? Right? How are you going to show up? Because that's the only thing that you could control over yourself, right? So as a guy, I will learn, right? If I'm watching this, if I watch this whole hour, I will learn, at least from this episode. Look, what I'm going to do is learn how I'm going to show up. How am I going to respond to her versus react, right? Because what is the strongest course of action and what's the weakest, right? And what is a submissive guy? How is she going to perceive me? Because it's not that you're submissive, it's how she's going to perceive you, right? That matters, because a woman wants to know that she is choosing you. And if she doesn't want a submissive guy, and that's how you are and you showing up that way, she's not going to want to be around you. So, those are a few things that's being picked up. And Bree, how are you feeling? I know you weren't feeling well an hour ago. You feel a little bit more jolly? A little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I can't see who else is in here. Yeah. I can't wait for all this to be over and that I could just press a button and go. Instead of setting... I know. I've been waiting for a long time, but nothing has really been going through. And this is really beyond my control, right? And so what I can do is I set up every single time before I go live. But my goal is be in front of my computer, press that button, it turns on, and I just grab the mic and I speak. Like, I can't wait for that. It will save me so much time. But until then, this is what I have to do, right? And I love doing it because, you guys keep showing up. You guys keep giving me a lot of love. You guys are learning from this too, right? So it's always fun. It's always fun. And I know it could get a little bit lengthy, but I feel like we could always learn from all this. You know what I mean? It will happen soon. Yeah, eventually, right? But anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Um, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Okay, I'll see you guys on Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Peace.